6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Nuclear war. With the end of the Cold War, it began to be brought to the agenda less frequently. However, this threat could never be completely eliminated. Let's focus on how a possible nuclear war between the two superpowers in the world could occur. Creating a detailed and realistic scenario of a nuclear war between China and the USA involves considering various strategic, political, and military aspects. Let's try. In a world strained by resource depletion and political tensions, a series of unfortunate events and misunderstandings lead to a catastrophic nuclear war. Over the years, tensions between China and the United States have escalated due to various geopolitical and economic issues, with Taiwan at the forefront. A political crisis and nationalism in Taiwan leads to a declaration of full independence. China views this as a violation of its long-standing claim over Taiwan and a challenge to the One China policy. A crisis emerges in the South China Sea. The United States and its allies increase their naval presence, citing freedom of navigation, while China asserts its territorial claims more aggressively. China initiates a military campaign to assert control over Taiwan. This campaign takes place in the form of a sudden and powerful air attack. The United States, bound by commitments to Taiwan's defense, mobilizes its Pacific Fleet. The United Nations and other international bodies attempt to mediate, but initial efforts are unsuccessful. Misunderstandings and aggressive rhetoric on both sides exacerbate the situation. Cyber attacks, blamed on both nations, target critical infrastructure, heightening suspicion and fear. Miscommunication and rapid escalation lead to a direct military confrontation. A naval skirmish occurs between Chinese and American forces in the Taiwan Strait. Each side suffers casualties. The conflict escalates with conventional strikes on military bases in the region. Both sides issue ultimatums, with China demanding withdrawal of U.S. forces and the USA insisting on demilitarization of the disputed area. Other regional and global powers are drawn into the conflict. United Kingdom, Japan, and South Korea support the United States, while North Korea and Russia aligns with China. Global trade is severely impacted. The disruption of shipping routes in the South China Sea and the Pacific leads to a global economic crisis. After initial advances, the Chinese army faced unexpectedly harsh resistance in Taiwan and suffered heavy losses in terms of both human resources and equipment. China's progress has ground to a halt. The U.S. Navy establishes effective blockades, but cannot dislodge the Chinese military from the region. As the conventional war continues, both nations consider the nuclear option. China's policy of no first use is under review due to the existential threat perceived. The U.S. debates a preemptive strike to neutralize China's nuclear capabilities.
We have ignition.
In a tragic miscalculation, one side launches a limited nuclear strike aimed at military targets, believing it can control the escalation ladder. The situation escalates quickly due to automated defense systems and preset military doctrines. The limited exchange quickly spirals out of control. Several major cities around the world are devastated by nuclear explosions. The initial blasts kill millions, and the aftermath leaves many more injured and homeless. The attacked nation responds with its own nuclear weapons. Major cities and military installations become targets. The world watches in horror as mushroom clouds rise over once thriving metropolises. A full-scale nuclear war ensues, leading to unimaginable destruction and loss of life. Thousands of atomic and hydrogen bombs weighing megatons explode in cities where millions of people live. The United States mainland also gets its share of these explosions. The explosions throw massive amounts of dust and debris into the atmosphere. This leads to a nuclear winter. Global temperatures plummet, devastating agriculture and leading to food shortages. Cities have become nuclear ruins where no one lives. Acid rain falls constantly. Radiation sickness ravages populations. With healthcare systems overwhelmed or destroyed, diseases, both old and new, spread unchecked. Cancer, in particular, has become the most common form of death. Governments fall, and anarchy spreads in many regions. Survivors struggle to find food, clean water, and shelter. In some areas, small groups manage to establish sustainable communities, often around surviving military bases or research facilities. These enclaves frequently clash over resources. Some try to maintain order and rebuild society, while others resort to banditry. Amidst the chaos, new power structures begin to emerge. Some are authoritarian, ruling through fear and control. Decades later, the survivors have formed new societies. The New World is keenly aware of the horrors of nuclear war. Humanity, while deeply scarred, begins a slow process of healing and renewal, cherishing peace and cooperation over conflict and division. This scenario serves as a stark reminder of the catastrophic consequences of nuclear war. We wish peace between these two countries. See you in the next video.